God's blessings. Today we're going to can some red potatoes. I had some red potatoes in the pantry. They were kind of getting old. They had like little, like they were starting to sprout and grow in the pantry. And so today I figured what a better thing to do is to can them before they start to spoil. So that's what we're going to do. Normally, these are a little different. The red potatoes are a little different than like your russet baking potatoes. Your baking potatoes have a little more starch in them, so you would need to blanch them first before actually putting them in a jar. But because the red potatoes are so soft, now we can, we would just wash them really good. I'm not going to peel them. I did wash really good with a little scrubby. And then I've chopped them up, rinsed them. Again, you just want to get all that starch off. So you rinse them about once or twice and then put them in your jar. Okay, so here we have our potatoes. I have them sitting in some water so they don't turn brown on me. I have them cut up. I had a few more that I needed to cut up, so I wanted to show you how I cut them up. So I just cut them in half and then took the other halved it, and then made my slices. I don't want them too big, but I don't want them too small either. The smaller they are, the mushier they'll get when they go in the pressure canner. So just want to make sure I do that. With these potatoes, sometimes you got to go ahead and look at them. And if you see any blemishes or anything that looks kind of old or a bruise or anything like that, you want to make sure that you go ahead and, excuse me, make sure you go ahead and cut that out. You don't want anything nasty in your jars. This process is so easy. It just goes just this quick. You see, you have your, if this right here, I didn't like that right there, I could go ahead and take that out just to make sure nothing goes in my jar. See? And then what did I say? So then you just cut those out. Just those little pieces in there. Okay, and this is almost a 5 pound, or this was a 10-pound bag of red potatoes, and we only ate a little bit of them. So this is pretty mostly about 5 pounds. So now we get our jars, and I have quart jars here. Okay, and with our quart jars, we're gonna put some seasonings in here in the jars with the potatoes, because you want to make sure that you got seasoning on your potatoes. And nobody eats just bland potatoes. So, well, you might, but we have a teaspoon here, and we do 1 teaspoon of basil in each of the jars. You can do this after you load the jars or before, but I figured it'd be easier to do it now. And I don't know exactly how many jars this will make, but we'll see. And then I got some rosemary. We'll do a half a teaspoon, of rosemary. Yeah, I'm not measuring, but And then I have some homemade garlic powder. It's really strong, so we're gonna do, I kind of like garlic, so we're gonna do a tablespoon of garlic. Teaspoon of garlic, my bad. And instead of using canning salt, I'm going to put some bouillon in there, some chicken bouillon in there, just for a little flavor and salt. Just a little bit, about a teaspoon of that. Because potatoes kind of need their salt. It'll soak it up. So that way, when we get our potatoes out of the jars, when we're done and we need to use them, they're already seasoned, okay? So now we just go ahead and load our potatoes up in here. in our jars. I kind of need to drain these a little bit, but it's all right. You just get them nice and in there. You can kind of move some of the little pieces around to make sure, you get them all in there. And if you have too many, you can always just take one out. And when you wash your potatoes once or twice or so, the water should be clear when you have it in your bowl. Excuse me, y'all. My allergies are acting up. Hey. So we just stuff them in here like that. I'm hoping I can get at least 5. I might be able to. It's looking promising, y'all. It's looking promising. They say 2 pounds per jar, but we'll see. I don't know if I had that many. Surely I didn't. How do y'all like to eat your red potatoes? Do y'all roast them? Or do you just bake them and cut them and just use them for like green beans? These right here could be used in your fresh green beans when you're making fresh green beans. That's a lot of times that's what I use them for, is like our fresh green beans. But lately here I've been like roasting them in butter and rosemary and some garlic. It tastes so good. Okay, can y'all see that? Like that? And all that seasoning is going to be at the very bottom. So when we pour our water in, it'll kind of meet everybody and get the marinating while it's in the pressure cooker. So this will be pressure cooked. Potatoes is one of the items that are low acidic, so you have to pressure cook these, okay? You would pressure cook these for about 30 minutes for a quart jar anyway. And I did not turn my pressure canner on. This is kind of like a thing you do after work. You just come home, wash potatoes, cut them up, and stick them in a jar and throw them in the pressure cooker and let it warm up on its own. So we're just cold packing them right now, okay? So I have 4 here. So what we're gonna do is just add some water to it to give it at least a 1-inch head space. That look good. I can't find my debubbler, so what we're gonna use is a chopstick. You use your little chopstick and kind of get in there, just to kind of push everything around, make sure the water gets all in there and the air gets out. So you just make sure we debubble all of it. Just make sure you get down off in there so you can get all the air out. That's all you gotta do. When you see no more little bubbles coming up, just pressure all your little food down back in the jar. And then look, you may need to put more water in it like I did. I need to put more water in there. Now because I put that broth in there, it's gonna turn yellow. Excuse me, it may look like it is cloudy or like it needs like it has a bunch of starch in it, but it's the broth. So some of these jars need a little more water. And actually, one that's just a little bit too tall. Okay. All right. So that's that. And then now we have our lids in our rings. We had our lids over here soaking in some hot water. So we have our lids in our rings. And I have a little bit of vinegar on the side over here so we can kind of get that together. So what we're going to do is just wipe the rims of the jars with a little paper towel, clean paper towel, some vinegar on it. Just to make sure everything is good to go. There is no seasoning, no particles or anything around the rim of the jar. That kind of helps, well, it doesn't kind of, it helps it to seal better. And then I take the dry side and wipe around it, make sure it's not anything left over. Okay, and then we're gonna put our lids on. I got my little lid thing, it don't want to act right. Little fresh lids. Maybe today. There you go. I still have a little bit of potatoes left, but I think I'm going to try to fill up another jar, and that might make 5. Well, it may make 4.5. But remember to always put these on just finger tight. So basically, you know, you can still undo it just a little bit. So you put these on, just make sure you don't put them on too tight. Maybe this one will go on. There you go. You just want to center your lids, center your lids on your jar and then put your rings on. So I'll put these in the pressure canner and we'll get it started. And once they are done, I'll let you see the final results. All right. All right, welcome back. We are done. We took our little weight off. Our little button has went down on our pressure cooker and it is super duper hot, right? So normally when it's done, you want to make sure you open the lid and let the water pour down away from you, the steam in the water. Now, it's very hot. All the jars are like trying to get cooled off and stuff, so you need to be careful. Normally I wait about 10 minutes before lifting out the jars out of the pressure canner, but I got some other things I need to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and lift them, but you'll see like water, you know, siphoning from the jar. So it is a little hot. That one wasn't so bad, but they look good. They look so pretty, and I did get 5 jars worth, and they smell so good. I can put a roast with this bugger here. Eat with these potatoes. That sounds great. Not too much siphoned out of there, but if I'm gonna move my pot here so you can see. And here are my jars. You want to let these sit for about 24 hours or so it doesn't, so you can make sure all of them have sealed and they're not being disturbed. And I'm gonna try to get a closer view, so just bear with me. But there they are. They're a little steaming hot. So once that little button goes down at the very top right here, we will know if it's been sealed. And then I'll come back and wash my jars, label them, and then I'll put them in storage. But I have to clean the outside of the jars because the liquid from the lid, you know, siphoned out. So it's all over the jar. So it makes it kind of sticky. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Um, please come back. Please like, subscribe, or comment if you have any questions. Talk to you later. Bye bye.